This is the opportunity to step up to the plate. Try doing what the Democrats couldn't do and actually do something in the community. And if they do that, November's red wave would get even bigger. Here now to react is Texas GOP congressional candidate Wesley Hunt and Kira Davis. She's the Red State editor at large. Thank you all so much for joining me. Kira, I'm going to go to you. We've been talking about this for a while, but it's now reflected in the numbers. They think identity politics is the solution, but black people are saying, nah, not on our watch. What say you?
No, I mean, this is what Republicans and conservatives have been told for years, that we're out of touch with what's going on in the black community, what black people want. And in many respects, maybe that's true. But the truth is that was a whole lot of projection from the Democrats. And you and I have been warning about this since the squad came in to Congress, right? We say, you guys are going to let this far left wing socialist element in your party take over the party. And it's not going to be Nancy Pelosi's party anymore. At least Pelosi is someone that you can work with, but you can't work with these ideologues, and they aren't interested in really what's going on in these black communities and in homes like mine. You know, where of course I don't even need a study, Lawrence, to tell you what concerns black people. I'm a black mother. I'm raising a black family in America, and I can tell you that I'm not concerned about whether or not my child can consent to an abortion at 12 years old or can consent to hormone therapy. What I'm concerned about is how I'm going to put food on the table, how I'm going to put gas in the car, how are we going to pay for college? I mean, while we're trying to pay for all of these things. It is a complete and utter and insulting disconnect from the black community, from the party that claims to own our vote. So I say it's time that we make some noise and make them pay for not listening to what we want.
And we're making some noise. And one of the places that we're making noise, Wesley, is in the barbershop. When I go back to the barbershop and say, Lawrence, the gas price is Joe's fault. The meat prices is Joe's fault. Us looking weak is Joe's fault. The unsecured border is Joe's fault. Taking jobs away from them, that's Joe's fault. So how are you going to message that from your party's perspective to those black voters?
Well, you know, I was at a barbershop a couple of weeks ago, and that was actually a topic of discussion. I'm here to tell you, brother, that the tide is absolutely turning. And while liberals sit in their towers and their comfortable homes, people have to live in crime-ridden neighborhoods. And the only thing that we want for our communities is to be safe, and we want opportunities for our families. But Joe Biden is bleeding support from minority communities because of failed policies and because of defunding the police that was started by the Democrats. It is happening right here in my own town here in Houston. Look, we used to be known as Space City, and now we are known as the murder capital of the world because of Democrat policies. In my lifetime, this is the highest inflation that I've ever seen, highest gas prices that I've ever seen. We have a porous border, and our oil and gas industry is under attack because of failing Democrat policies. And by the way, this doesn't just hurt black folks. It hurts all Americans. And again, the rising tide raised the elevation of all ships. And that's what the Republican Party has got to do to take back our country here in November, is understand that black Americans are all Americans.
Wesley, you make an interesting point, but you got to sell the message. So, Kira, how do you do it? You got to go to the people. And it can't be the same Republican message that's been for years. You got to tailor it to the community. How do you do that, Kira?
I think Republicans are often scared to engage in identity politics because that is it seems like a left-wing idea, but really we engage in identity politics every day. I mean, if you're a part of a Republican Women's Federation, that's identity politics. So there's nothing wrong with tailoring the message to go into different communities. We do it all the time. I'm running for school board here in California, and when I'm talking to a group of moms, I'm talking about different concerns than if I'm talking to a group of teachers or a group of dads. You know, so don't be afraid, Republicans, to go in and tailor those messages and find people on the ground who are already doing it. You don't have to tap the same old personalities to go in. Those people are great, you know, and they're great for preaching to the choir, and we love the choir. They have great robes, and we love to hear them sing. But when we want to go get new members of the congregation, it's perfectly fine to go and find people who are on the ground already doing the work and let them be your ambassadors in the community, because they know what's going on, and they really know how to talk to people. Those are their neighbors, their community. Those people are there. Go find them and support them.
You know, Wesley, I've been discussing with the Democratic Party attack on black men. They don't want black men in the household, and we know that we have been leading our families for decades. They go against the black businesses. What are you going to do in this race to make sure the message is sent that we need black men in the households for stable families? We need both of the parents there.
Yes, I'm a black man in my family. I had an outstanding father in my family, and that's why my house has 3 West Point graduates sitting, my sister, brother, and I. And why? Because we had a strong black mother and a strong black father. And look, at the end of the day, it's up to me. It's up to other black Republicans to show our community that it's okay to be a Republican. We are not monolithic. We can think for ourselves. Let's look at the facts. Where were we a couple of years ago, and where are we now? And I think with the right voice and the right message, we can absolutely articulate that. And that's why I am running for office. And that's why we're going to take back the House, brother.
Yeah. I'm going to be following that race, brother. And I hope to see you in the barbershop one day when I'm in the Houston area.
I can't wait. Let's do it.
Wesley, Kira, thanks so much for joining the program.
Thanks, Lauren.
Happy Easter. God bless you. Thank you very much.
God bless you, too.